easier to clear transaction. But these days, it's so easy. These days, if I want to send $2,000 right now back to I want to pay people $2,000. I don't go to my phone. I go to the app. I move the dollars from my USD account to the app, and I just transfer it straight to the bank. It doesn't take 5 seconds. They can do that. That's why you don't have cases of let me do international bank transfer to you. It's usually through those apps. Because you know those apps now. Usually through those apps.
Yes, sir. Okay, this I think is the other. It's fine. Okay.
It's very collateral related transactions. They're very, very good. So let's be guided in our next transaction. When the customer says,
Okay, I'm live now.
the customer is abroad,
Okay, just stop voice.
right? When the customer says, I want to pay in check,
Let me talk voice.
okay, I have dollar. Account, I want to give you a dollar check. Which bank? Ask which bank is it from? Let's find out if the company has a bank so they can do bank to bank. Okay, we don't have a bank, we don't have what you call a parallel. We'll have the meeting.
Thank you. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this channel, to today's YouTube live. So, I'll be talking about the topic um, how the 1.4 million barrels per day Dangote optimization expansion affects you as a real estate investor. Okay, so today you want to understand where the next wave of real estate opportunities will come from in Nigeria. And this topic is very, very critical. We are delving into the optimization towards the 1.4 million barrels per day at the Dangote Refinery, and how does it impact you as a property investor? Most people are looking at this refinery from an oil and gas perspective. See, it's way beyond that. It's way beyond that, because you are not an oil and gas person, are you? But you can still gain from this optimization, because smart investors, they know that major industrial activity is equal to major real estate movements. So before we continue, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Benny Salubio Foroza, officially the Khaleesi of Lagos, and I'm right here on Indigo TV to dole out how you can take advantage of this expansion of the Dangote Refinery. So let's go there. So first, what is the Dangote Refinery, and why does it matter? So the Dangote Refinery is Africa's largest refinery, okay, capable of refinery 650,000 barrels per day, but strategically optimizing output across the multiple petroleum products up to the economic equivalent of 1.4 million barrels per day. Remember that the barrels per day, when they buy the crude, it's not just petrol they get from it too. They get diesel, they get bitumen, they get, all the kerosene, um, um, petrol, they get everything, all the petroleum products you can get from um, crude, okay? So um, Dangote is now, expanding from 650,000, which is the largest in Africa, to 1.4 million barrels a day, which will now overtake the biggest one in India, and will now bring Nigeria to the map of the country with the biggest refinery in the world. Clap for Dangote now. Clap, 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 clap. Okay, so this refinery will strengthen Nigeria's fuel independence, reduce import dependence. And again, remember that the federal government um, also is slamming a 15% tax on imported petroleum products. So in a way, Nigeria is totally eliminating importation of fuel. Everybody buy locally. Okay, so this refinery will strengthen Nigeria's fuel independence, reduce import dependence, boost industrial activities, and create direct and indirect jobs. It will also stimulate infrastructural development. So, of course, when industrialization is hitting the location hard, what is the translation? Things will start happening there, okay? So that's the stimulation. Now, the big question, what does this mean for a real estate investor? What does it mean for you? Let's break it down. Let's break it down so that you understand what you tend to gain if you take advantage of this. So why should a real estate investor care? Number one, the real estate connection. Okay, so massive job creation, housing demand. So you are seeing that Dangote now, he said he's going to create about 100 and something thousand jobs. So what you are seeing is the number of jobs. But as an investor, what you should be seeing is the number of people that will be coming there. They will live somewhere. Their children will go to school. And of course, with this mad Lagos, you don't expect them to be working at refinery and living at Akowonjo. That's suicide now. You understand? So there'll be a lot of migration there. And then tens of thousands of workers, directly and indirectly, engineers, managers, logistics, operators, experts. These people need housing. They need, the demand for rent will spike. Do you know that the demand for rent in that Eleko area that used to be local area, do you know is almost competing with Songotedo now and Aja? Yes, the demand there is now massive because a lot of people are looking for housing in that location. So another thing is the rise of new commercial activities. So where there is oil and gas infrastructure, you typically see hotels, you will see restaurants, you will see warehouses, you will see logistics hub, you will see banks like Okpo, 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 Okpo. You will see all these things there. Okay. So you see, because of the activity of the refinery, you will see things like this. They will start springing up. All these require commercial real estate. So you want to build a bank. Of course, you're not gonna put your bank inside one street now. You put it on the road, you put it where people will see it. You want your hotel to boom. Why does big hotels in Victoria Island, some hotel will collect up to 2 million a night? Why? It's because they are just they are very accessible. They are on the road. Everybody sees them, everybody goes there. They are always top of mind. You understand? They are always the first choice for anybody that wants to, do something around there. So warehouses, you see a lot of it because of the nature of what is industrialization. You see, when as businesses come up, people want to store things somewhere. They want to bring from the deep sea ports. They want to keep somewhere before they, start distributing. Then you also see a lot of logistics around there. You start seeing that people are moving. Of course, the whole idea of the petroleum is logistics. It's how to distribute it. It's not just enough for Dangote to do 1.4 million barrels. How does it get to Kaduna? How does it get to Kafansha? How does it get to Ogoja? All those are part of logistics. So you see a lot of that. You see logistics all over the place. All these require, of course, commercial real estate. Then another thing again is the rapid development of the Dangote corridor. That's the Ibejuleki, the free trade zone corridor. You see that the development there will now come very, very fast. The refinery has precipitated it. Okay, so it's just very natural for things to start happening like one after the other very fast. So the refinery acts as an anchor for the free trade zone. It also acts as an anchor for the Lekki Deep Sea Port and also the Dangote Jetty. Okay, so also we have new roads, bridges, and infrastructure. If you go to that area now, you will not believe it. What you saw 2-3 years ago is like what you see today. Is you won't even believe those things will be there by this time. You understand? Because when people when the iPods come initially, people are like, that one is the next 40 years. Do you know that I spoke with a client, a prospect one time, and the guy told me, will that refinery ever work? Like seriously, and this is a top government official, so they didn't have faith in it. But when you go there today, what is there is massive. Okay, so this area that was previously considered as a remote area has quickly become a real estate hotbed. So you mustn't be like snoozing as a smart investor that you are. Then number 4, what happens to property prices? Of course, what happens to property prices? They surge. Demand and supply, the simple demand and supply rule. Okay, then the price movements logic. Let's delve into that. The industrial mega project always influence land value in surrounding areas. So whenever you see industrialization mega projects, it's always is a constant K. It always improves property value in the surrounding areas. Example, when we started Lekki, who knows Lekki, who comes here? Everybody who comes from the mainland. You understand? Everybody's coming from the mainland. But because of the communalization, industrialization of Victoria Island, you now see that Lekki became a hotspot. Okay, it started spreading all the way to Chevron and all these things. Before you know it, your place now to get a house there is like almost costing a ham and a leg. So industrial mega projects always influence land value in surrounding areas. Then the stages of value growth. Let's talk about that. Number 1, the pre-operation speculation. Investors buy land early. That's the pre-operation speculation. They've not started, but they want to start. That is why we had a property then that we used to sell 60 million called the Ivory Grove. That time they've not started, but they will soon start. So it's pre-operation. So those people that bought it that time, they got it at the cheapest possible price. They got it early. Then secondly, the construction phase boom. As the construction is going on, temporary housing demand increases. You see that people are, oh, they are building, oh, they will soon start, oh, they will open next month, oh, they will open next year, oh. You see that boom, that's the momentum is building up. It's not like the first time that they say, they just said, they just pointed one big bush and say that's where Dangote refinery will be, you know. But now you see that the construction phase boom has passed. Now the operation phase surge. That's the next phase that we are right now. That's the next phase we are. So permanent workforce settles. Because as at the first time, what we're seeing were people that come to build, contractor that want to do this one, they will come and they will go, right? That one increased the temporal demand for housing. But now, the real Dangote staff that wear the Dangote ID card, they've started working there now. So, you know, working there after a while, some of them will come from Ondo, some will come from Ogun, some will come from First Stack. You know, they may come the first week, the first month, but after a while, they will want to settle down there. You understand? It's not going to be easy for them to be coming all the way from such location, even if they are within Lagos. It's not going to be easy. So now that's the stage we are. You know, the operation phase surge. So permanent workforce is settling down. Then the commercial expansion, that's supporting industries arrive. Okay, now commercialization is about taking place. Okay, with the expansion, more commercial. Hey, let me not bite my tongue. Okay, so more commercialization. You understand? It's going to expand. Then the fifth point, the long-term price stabilization. The area becomes a matured industrial city, like Victoria Island, Ikoyi. Nobody's begging you now to come and buy land there. Now land is strictly on who has the molar. You understand? So those ones have reached the matured long-term price stabilization. Okay, so all these are going to happen in the refinery area. So we are currently between stage 3 and stage 4. Like I told you, we are currently between the operation phase surge and the commercial expansion. Then the areas most affected. Section 4, hot locations for property investors. Ibejuleki. You did not buy Ikoyi. I mean, that time, maybe you still they gather your money. You did not buy Victoria Island. Maybe that time, you still dey university. You did not buy Banana Island. Maybe that time, you were still hustling. But today, don't for any reason miss Ibejuleki. Don't for any reason whatsoever miss it. The closest to the refinery, because that's where the refinery is, inside Ibejuleki local government, and it is fast becoming the new Lagos industrial city. If you go to Ibejuleki now, Ibejuleki is something else. Okay, so it's fast maturing. Then the Lekki Free Trade Zone axis, also inside Ibejuleki. So that area is not just the refinery. Don't say that the refinery is the only catch. And you know, some people will now come up with the story of, I don't like staying near refinery is not safe. Nobody says you should stay there. Invest there. There are two different things. Invest there. Even if you don't stay there, no problem. People that will look for your property, that will come and meet you at Ikeja to look for your property, they will come to that place. So that's not a problem. So the free trade zone axis, high demand for corporate warehouses, future tourism and commercial centers. Okay, so number 1, Ibejuleki, where the refinery is, then the free trade zone axis, and then number 3, Epe. Epe is benefiting from the overflow of traffic at Ibejuleki. Okay, land is still relatively affordable in Epe compared to Ibejuleki. Okay, and there's massive government infrastructure projects underway. You know, Ibejuleki zone is already showing, but Epe own, a lot is going on. See, there's no time I go to Epe because I have several properties there. There's no time I go to Epe that maybe I go the next week, I will not see something new. That's just how Epe is evolving. I remember the first time I went to K2 Epe, it was looking like the end of the earth. But today, it's nothing like that. A lot of things are happening there. Okay? Then, of course, Eleko, Akudo, and Alaro City. All these places, fast-growing industrialization and residential blend. Both residency and industrialization is happening in Eleko, Akudo, and Alaro City. Then there are a lot of blue chip developers already investing, a lot, plenty, okay? They're already investing. So what are the type of property investment to consider? Okay, the best real estate place now, number one, rental housing for mid-level workers. You can consider that. So that is why I would like to refer you to our property called Coastal One. Okay, is at Igondo on the Coastal Road. That one has a blend of commercial and residential. Then we also have, we also look into 2 to 3 bedroom apartments, studio units, and co-living spaces. Look into it, because people that will buy, rent it from you, they are already holding their bags coming to you. Then also consider short-let apartments and lodges. Those ones will also do very well. See, experts, contractors, engineers, steady short-term demand. Now, it wants to optimize from 650,000 barrels to 1.4. Of course, they will need experts to do it. So will they pursue the people in their guest house, in their this thing, and go and put this one? No. Mind you, it's doing more than double the original capacity. It's optimizing more than double. So a lot of experts will come. The experts, you don't expect them to be staying in hotel morning to night every day. You understand? It's not going to, and moreover, it's there's this thing about when you have a living space that is like your house. You can cook, you can wash your clothes, you can do this, not the hotel setting. You understand? You can watch TV, your friends can come around, you understand? So people like that, they will want lodges and short-let apartments, Airbnb, okay? So those are going to do very well in that location. Then warehousing and logistics facilities. The refinery will need storage, distribution, packaging, and transport hubs, okay? So those are also businesses you should consider. And if you are in that business in another location, consider having a branch in this location. Then, of course, commercial shops and office spaces. See, this is like the bomb, boom. Yeah, so commercial complexes. See, there are some ancillary businesses that will spring up. They don't want to necessarily build their own, or maybe they don't have the money to build their own yet. But see, if you have like a 10-story building, a glass house that you are renting floor by floor, you are already housing. Do you know that a friend of mine told me how, I cannot mention the name of the company, how a company rented 2 floors in Pan Ocean building at Ligali Ayorinde in Victoria Island for 500 and something million, 500 and something million naira. 2 floors. Oh, see, the same kind of money we roll in this location. So you can consider our Ivory Grove, our prime Ivory Grove property on the Elekon Link Road, T junction with the Coastal Road. You can mount a big 8 to 10-story building there. That will be like, you get tired of making money. Opo. Okay, so banks, eateries, retail outlet, petrol station, transport companies. So those are ventures that you can also consider there. People that will be moving there, they need petrol station, they need banks, they need eatery. You understand? They also need retail outlets, they need shopping malls, they need transport companies. Okay, and another beautiful thing, see, you see that Coastal Road, that Coastal Road is on that Coastal Road there. So worry, it's not up to 2 hours. Yes, you heard me. It's not up to 2 hours on that Coastal Road. So that is already an avenue for logistics. A lot of people will want to use that place. So if you have a transport company in those hubs, in those locations, you get tired of making money. Okay, then strategic land banking is something you can do, especially in Epe, Ibejuleki. You can still do strategic land banking, although land there is getting higher, but it hasn't gotten to the optimal price. Okay, you can still do land banking. And then in the free trade zone corridor too. So these areas will multiply in value over the next 5 to 15 years. Yeah, I will quickly tell you a story of a friend that bought. Then they were still doing. She bought a land at Utako in Abuja. So when she bought the land, then that place was not. They've not even done that main road. Like, she bought the land for 200,000 naira. But because they were in the pre-operation stage, that is, they are saying, oh, government is going to do this, government is going to do that, but they've not done it yet. So she was able to get the land for 200,000 naira. She later sold that land 2 years later to somebody for 2.7 million naira. Hey, she was partying and she was happy. She was like, man, I don't have ma. Do you know that that same person sold that land to a bank for 70 million naira when the road came? No, just see. So you see, she eventually shortchanged herself. So the person that bought it, the person not buy 200,000, the person bought 2.7, which was a higher price compared to if the person had bought it 2 years ago, right? The person bought 2.7, but the person still cashed out much more than the person that bought it 200,000. So don't say, hey, it's already expensive. How will I buy land there 30 million? I'll go and look for 2 million own, which doesn't exist anymore in Lagos. I'll go and look for a cheaper one. But see, compared to what you will sell it later, 3, 5, 10 years time, you are getting it like free. Let me continue. So the risks you should be aware of. Number one, risk factors, speculative pricing bubbles. Okay, you should be very, because some people, they will come with this very big, humongous expectation. It does not necessarily work out that way. Okay, so some people may inflate prices due to the hype, but it does not necessarily work out that way. Then another risk that you should also look at is poor documentation. You have to always verify if it's C of O, Gazette, or governor's consent. Then excision. Okay, excision. And if you are looking for excision, look for the one that has approved excision, because even right now in Ibejuleki, excision is kind of a bit shady, a bit risky, even though, but just make sure that excision, don't do excision in process. So excision, anytime you want to do something there, make sure that you have either a CFO, a gazette, a government consent, or an approved excision. Okay, and most times when the government approves the excision, they gazette it. Okay, most of those that have approved excision, they already have gazettes. Okay, then infrastructural delays, another risk. So some access road may lag behind developmental speed. Okay, it may not be as fast, but the beautiful thing why I like this particular place and this project is that they are very particular. Like Timbo have given himself target that road must be completed, and Lagos State is also following suit. Okay, then some access road may lag, and then number 4, over optimism from uninformed investors. Okay, as much as you can be overly optimistic, but also use the facts to interpose your optimism. Then you still need due diligence and financial planning. Okay, always carry out your due diligence. Don't say that this person said to always do it. Okay, it's just it's just um it's just something you should just have an habit of doing as a smart investor. So how to position yourself strategically in this whole scenario? The winning strategy for me, you invest early at the edges of development. But in case you did not directly next to the refinery, it's too expensive now. Okay, then focus on area with existing or planned infrastructures. Okay, then roads, drainage, government activity is equal to fastest or faster return or on investment. So if you want fast ROI, look for somewhere that the road passes, they already have good drainage, or if so the way they are doing the road now, it comes with the drainage. So the road and drainage are now like 5 and 6 because of the terrain of the whole of Ibejuleki. Then of course government activities. If government puts something here, follow the ladder. Follow the ladder. Oh. If you see anywhere that government have strong interest in, follow that place, go to that place. Have you not noticed that in Lagos, it's not everywhere that they sweep? Have you seen all those women that used to sweep highway, sweep Alaba International? a joke. Have you seen them? You see, they don't do it, right? Because of what? Whatever the reason. But you see them sweep Ikoyi, you see them sweep Victoria Island, you see them sweep Lekki Phase 1, you see them sweep here. Because all these places have government backing. You understand? So you position yourself in such location. Then prioritize income generating real estate. Make it a priority. Something that will give you money. Don't go and say, I want to go and build big mansion. No, that's what I'm going to pay you money for big mansion. As in, you be staying in big mansion, how much you go help? So prioritize income generating, something that you can rent out, something that you can build and you understand, something that will give you money. Prioritize those ones in this location. You will get more. Okay. So that man that built a house in Victoria Island, that is living in Victoria Island, is he getting as much as somebody that built a high rise that is getting 500 million a year rent from a company? No. So prioritize. Okay. So look into rental housing, short-let, warehousing, commercial offices. Then use a 5 to 15 years investment outlook. Okay. This refinery is not a short-term play. It is a generational opportunity. Your grandchildren, they will thank you. Just like me now, I would have thanked my father and maybe my children too, if my father had bought a house, if my father had bought a property in Lekki Phase 1, then when it was still emerging. He did not see the future. See me now, I don't have property in Lekki Phase 1. Don't let your children be angry at you. Okay, so in conclusion, the Dangote Refinery isn't just an oil and gas story. It is a real estate opportunity story. Its optimization towards 1.4 million barrels per day strengthens the entire economic structure around the Lekki-Epe axis. Trust me, it's a game changer. Many people from outside Nigeria, they will be coming. See, with the 650,000 barrels, Dangote could, almost accommodate Nigeria demand. But now it's going beyond Nigeria's demand to outside Nigeria. That is huge. So it is not just an oil and gas opportunity, it is a real estate opportunity. Don't even tell me you have not bought yet. Better call me like ASAP. It's a real estate opportunity that you cannot miss. And where the economic activity is, there is the real estate demand. And where there is demand, there is profit for smart investors. So before I take questions, let me know in the chat, which of the area are you considering investing in? Are you considering Ekpe? Are you considering Ibejuleki? Are you considering the free trade zone? Let me know exactly what you have in mind so that we can walk you through. So I'm open for questions. If you have any question, of course, put it down there in the comment section and I'll be answering it and talking about it. So the Dangote expansion is a win for all of us, not just for Aliko Dangote, not just for the oil and gas industry, but it's also a win for the real estate industry in this axis. Would you not rather plug in? So till I come your way next time, thank you so much for your time. I hope you've been able to have like eye-opening experience or eye-opening information on what to do on that axis. So I remain Benny Salubio Perusa, the Khaleesi of Lagos Realty, and thank you for joining the Indigo TV. I would like you to share, like, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you very much. I'll see you on the next one.